this one over and under, going over, going under. It's a very easy thing. We're going to point out, so we're going to show some of the storylines going on in AEW surrounding the championships right now. And then we're going to discuss whether or not we think the storyline is going over, or whether or not the storyline is actually going a bit under. All right, fellas. So let's go ahead and start this off with our TNT champion, Daniel Garcia.
Could be better. I like him as champion. Like, he's the type of guy I want to hold that belt. He's one of those guys. He's on the up and up. He's a young guy. He's really talented, and I want to see more from him. So, like, I like him with the title. It just seems a little middling right now. To me, like, we've seen some setup with Shane Taylor and his group, but I think we've talked about it before. Like, it just feels like a quick TV feud, almost like Hobbs for Mox was. I think it'll happen in the next week or two, and it's not going to be a pay-per-view match. It's not going to be a Grand Slam match. So it does feel like I don't know what his overall direction with the TNT title is. There's no clear, like, here's his next big threat.
Yeah.
Outside of, like I said, maybe that TV match, but like,
okay.
And yeah, the vibe check is weak right now.
The vibe
but
check
I
is
like
weak.
him. So like, I would overall. Are we making declarations?
How do we want to do this? Do we want to come together a consensus within the group, or do we want to have individuals?
Then my vote is not deep. But it's going a little under.
It's going a little under. Okay, so
it's not failing. It's not dropping to the bottom. It's a little under.
And you know what helps? There's three of us here. So no matter what, the tie is being broken. So Jake, how do you feel about Daniel Garcia's current run right now as champ?
I kind of feel the same as Matt. Honestly, I feel like it's something where we're trying to find the way, and we just haven't quite found it yet. It seemed like we were going to, I don't know where, but it seemed like we were going a certain direction more with that stuff with the Death Riders. But I agree with Matt. I'm going to say under, but not by much. This can still be turned into something good, and something memorable, which he deserves for sure. But right now it's just kind of falling flat, and flat in wrestling is under. So I'm going under.
There you go. So 2 out of 3, don't matter what I say, it's going to be under no matter what. But I do want to point out though that I feel like we are on the precipice of something pretty awesome with Daniel Garcia. He has had some really great moments. 2024 was a big year for him. Obviously winning the TNT championship over Jack Perry. But like the Continental Classic, he got a win over Okada. He tied with Okada. He had a big win in the Continental.
Ties like kissing your sister.
That's yeah. Okay, Jake. You were not wrong.
Experience?
I don't care for ties. I don't care for
Is that
ties.
spoken from experience?
I mean, there is a certain amount of leeway you're given when you are from the state I'm from. Not me in particular now.
Mercedes Mone. Now, her current story is that she's going through her belt collector arc a la Kenny Omega when he did that during the pandemic. Similar to Daniel Garcia as far as pay-per-view opponents go, there is no clear opponent at the moment for her, so she's kind of just like fluttering about, and that's because she just defeated Mina Shirakawa at Wrestle Dynasty to obtain belt number 4, which was the Rev Pro Championship belt. That would make her a 4-time champion. Jake, since Mercedes Moné's arrival in AEW, we've been treated to some excellent matches. Do you feel like we've been treated though to the best that she has to offer right now with this current run?
Nope.
Okay. All right, that's it. So you're just going under.
I don't like. It's like all the I don't care about the title collector. Like it's I just don't. I mean, when Kenny Omega did it, it was at least with like, it was with TNA, and it was with New Japan, and it was. I mean, I just don't care. I wish I did, but this belt collector thing, like it just doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
And like you said, no clear opponent right now. She doesn't even know who she's going to defend the TBS title against. why are we giving her more titles that she has no clear opponent for?
Yeah.
That she's probably not going to defend on the show.
Yeah.
I would imagine is the other part of that too. So to me, under. I mean, my vote for this is under. It just seems like we're just doing shit with Mercedes so that it like seems like she has a lot going on, but I just feel like we've never had a clear plan for Mercedes since she came in the front door. But
that is very true.
After Willow seemed like there was some structure to it. That whole story that they had together, kind of friends and then turning. And then after that, to your point, Jake, yeah, it just feels like stuff. And we just booked. Camille added a nice little flavor, but then she got hurt and quit or whatever. And so you kind of lost that aspect to it. So yeah, I feel like it's under 2 at the moment.
Yeah. I'm, it is an under. We're just going to go ahead and call it what it is. It's an under.
We need a sound effect.
We do need it. We do need a sound effect. Another one that's rough because you haven't seen it much. And it's Konosuke Takeshita with the International Championship. This belt used to be featured on TV every single mother flipping week. Emphasis on the flipping because of Will Ospreay. But instead, it has gone into the hands of Takeshita and it's kind of just stayed there. Yes, he comes off every time he shows up as a threat, as a heavy hitter. He had a great match with Hobbs that, was exciting, but it was a very much, just randomly built up, not randomly because there was a connection there, but they didn't have enough time to properly dive into that story. And really only is ever seen when there are wild group attacks with the Don Callis family. And then he shows up and he's usually like the X factor that tips the odds in their favor or something like that. But in a theme that I realized as I was typing out all of these, no clear opponent for the title. What the fuck, man?
I disagree with that a little bit. Okay. So here, everything you said is right. And I do think, I don't want to sound like I'm bagging it, but I think it's an under for me, but this is the under that has that is right at the point of turn.
Okay.
Because I think his clear next big opponent, nothing officially kind of in line on paper announced or anything yet, as Jake brings his cat onto the video version. Hello, Dale.
Oh, we got it.
Good boy.
Nice.
I think clearly in my brain, this is going to Kenny and Konosuke. And I think Kenny, as part of his kind of comeback tour, is going to win the international title. And I think that could raise that title back into the prominence. So I think that's where we're going, whether that's something like a Grand Slam or if we're going to wait till Revolution. I think that's the track for that. So I think this one right now is kind of under, but I think it's right there about to take a turn.
Okay. All right. I like that assessment there. Jake, your thoughts?
I would even maybe, if just to be different, I will vote over because I think that's happening and I think we're right about to see it.
Okay. All right. I like that.
The potential is making me excited.
I won't lie. Coming into this, I was an under, but your excitement for this, because you're right. I'm looking at Kenny and Will first without realizing that
we're going to do tag stuff. It's going to be faction.
This has to lead that way.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, this has to lead that way. So I think this will be an over for me as well. But Jake, anything you wanted to add?
Under.
Why is that?
Understandably.
For the exact same reason as the other two. And you pointed it out, and I was going to point it out as well. If it says no clear opponent for the title, then you don't know what the hell you're doing. You just don't have any kind of plan. Now, but see, this is kind of, I think Matt feels a little bit the opposite about this one as he did the Daniel Garcia one. And how it's just a little over. I'm giving you a little leeway, but no, I'm not until you have a clear picture. I don't care.
That is a very good point, because it's like, do you want to rate it based on where you think it can go or where it currently is? But it's a made up game, so it doesn't really matter. We can kind of just do whatever the hell we want. For right now, though, just for the sake of because I agree that this if this goes to Kenny at Revolution, which by the way, I'm 100% going to be there for, because I'm off of work. So I will 100% be going to that show.
Is that in LA?
It's in LA. Yeah, it's at Crypto Arena. I will probably
$800 just to get in the damn door of that place.
God, I know that we'll have to look at the ticket prices, but I'm going to give it an over just for now. We're going to give one an over. We got to, see how this plays out. But I was coming into this one as an under, and Matt, you made me a believer. So I want to thank you for that.
I'm too hard. I'm too stubborn to listen to Matt.
It's okay. We need different voices.
But it's okay. But it's okay, because I think this one is going to be so clear where we're going right out of the gate, folks, because it is Kazuchika Okada and the Continental Champion. He just won the Continental Classic. And he defeated Ishii on Collision this past Saturday. It is unclear who will be going through feud with him at the moment. Wait a minute. Hold on. Omega gave Okada the belt.
Right.
Too.
I forgot about that. What does that tell you, though? I forgot about that.
That's no.
Because that happened, and then we had like 2-3 weeks of things and forgot about it, and now it does feel like Kenny's going to go for the international.
Hold on.
For those just listening at home, Jake
go ahead,
has indicated under.
Go ahead, Jake. Put it again for everyone to see.
I just need a paddle, like it's. Like
we need paddles.
We need paddles, like we're auctioning.
We should go. Yes, we should. Yes.
Now we're going to move past this one really fast, because if we're being honest with ourselves here, this doesn't require that much time. The Death Riders, the trios titles. I'm just going to go and flat out just say under right out of the gate for all of us. It has been an absolute blunder.
There is there's no story with the title.
There's no story. There's nothing there. It's just a thing that they hold right now. It seems like your pathway is going to be rated FTR, taking the titles. You are seeing AEW really try to put re-emphasis on trios. They're forming a lot of trios right now, especially on Collision. So you're seeing what they're doing. But the problem is that where it currently stands right now with the Death Riders, it's just not good. And for that reason, I'm out. That unfortunately leads us to our last one, which we are not going to talk about Mariah May because we covered it extensively. And by the way, that's an over. But it is, of course, our AEW world champion, Jon Moxley, the leader of the Death Riders, in a feud with Rated FTR, and has said that he wanted someone to step up and forcibly take the title away from him. Otherwise, it stays hidden behind lock and key. And I like the lock and key thing. I think it's cool. Too. It's different. I just feel like it's in the background way too much. Like I feel like the belt should be so much more not visible, but like the suitcase should be more visible. It should be like Moxley should have it, and because Marina Shafir is like doing a good job, like making it seem like she's protecting it with her dear life, but it's just, I don't know.
I like it too, and I think that's in a weird way. I think that's kind of the point. Is that it's not a focal point and everything. It's not until you take it, right? And you all have spent too much time wanting to just covet the big shiny gold belt, and I'm here to show you. So I can respect that, as much as I understand your point from like just a show and like production, branding, even like it can kind of hurt things. But this one is like, this one's a reluctant under for me. Not reluctant, but like a sad under for me. Cause like it has a lot right now. There are a lot of prominent players in and around the scene. Like, I mean, Adam Copeland, is there again, clearly I think we're getting there at some point, but, and FTR is involved with this, but my big issue is that I feel like we're going there, but in the meantime, and the past several weeks, I feel like it's just the same thing over and over again. There's a match, Death Riders run in. There's a match, which I think also hurt. It does, as some people talked about in our Discord, which you should join. I think it kind of hurts Mox's credo, and when he constantly has his team interfering.
Yeah.
And if they played into that story of like, Mox is cracking, like he constantly needs people or needs us to, but they're not really even acknowledging that. It's just like, we're a heel faction, we're doing heel faction things.
Yeah.
Even though the bedrock of the faction was that we're the toughest, fightingest MFers on the roster. And it just feels it's been repetitive. So like, given the players involved, I want this to be an over, but it's an under currently.
Okay. Jake, what about for you?
This to me is one of those ones that it's kind of like the Daniel Garcia one to me of like, I kind of see a direction. I see a direction they're wanting to go with it, but the execution has not been great. And to Matt's point, the whole thing is that the Death Riders just keep coming out and beating the shit out of them. And it'd be one thing if like Matt said, that was established, just like, we're going to keep this from everybody. But like, yeah, it undercuts what the whole point of what it feels like Jon Moxley is trying to say is, I want someone to step up and take the title from me.
Yeah.
But if the Death Riders do keep coming in and doing that, and I know people are going to say, well, how's this any different than the Bloodline, or just watch it. It feels different. It doesn't even like, I don't know. It just,
and you can criticize the Bloodline for being directionless at times. Like there definitely were moments of the Bloodline story was direct. I mean, you don't have a story for 4 years and it not be directionless here and there. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But this is like their only story that this is like, they've only been doing this for less than a year now. Right. So it shouldn't feel directionless already.
Yeah. But it's honestly felt a little directionless from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it just has felt like this abstract concept and nothing, I feel like nothing concrete has come from it. It just feels like Mox and the Death Riders are just flicking these little fleas off of their back and being like, this is of no concern to me.
So you're going over or under?
I'm still willing to give Mox and this storyline enough plastic bag to suffocate itself, but I'm going under.
All right, it's an under, 2 out of 3, but also I was going to go under as well because right now it's just not serving the story. It's not serving AEW, right? The greater good. Yeah. That being said, though, that doesn't mean that that it's always going to be like this, right? And I think what's going to be really fun is to maybe keep tabs of this. Maybe week in, week out, we'll like keep tabs of like where things are going. But for the most part, it does feel like AEW, is in a holding pattern. They're in a holding pattern. Thankfully, it's not all doom and gloom because you got a lot of great storylines over there. And again, this isn't to say that like everything's rosy peachy everywhere else, because every story kind of goes in a different direction, right? That's kind of the fun of it all. So if this is something you guys are interested in and you want to see us do it for WWE, maybe even do it for TNA, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You can join us on the Discord, just like Matt said.